Hey everyone, today I'm going to be changing both the engine air filter and cabin air filter in a 2016 Honda HRV. Now all these first generation HRVs use the same engine and cabin air filter. This is a very simple and easy process that requires no tools, so anyone can do this themselves and save them the time and money of paying somebody else to do it. So we'll start off with the maintenance guide from Honda. Honda uses something called a maintenance minder. It's basically in the computer system, it tells you when to do certain things. Now, if you want to go by the maintenance minder, subcode number 2 on the dashboard, when it comes up, will reference the engine air filter and the cabin air filter. And they also recommend, if you're driving in very dusty or dirty conditions, to replace each of these at 15,000 miles. Now, if you're not doing abnormally dirty driving, you're doing mostly on-road driving, you'll be able to get 30,000 miles out of these. That's pretty common for most of these air filters. Now, for the cabin air filter, I'm going to go with one of these Fram Fresh Breezes. I like these better than some of the OEM stuff because this is infused with baking soda, so this will help absorb any smells you get in the car. Same way with having baking soda and stuff out of a refrigerator. So whether it's baking soda or activated charcoal, I think that's a better way to go with these filters, just to keep the car smelling nice and clean. And then for the engine air filter, I'm going with one of these Premium Car Quests. I've never used one of these before, but these look like very nice filters from what I see. One thing I've also found is these are a little bit, these engine air filters for these HRVs are a little bit harder to find in some stores, so you typically will have to go to an auto parts place to get these things. I don't know why they're hard to find, but they just seem to be, from what I can tell. Here's the part number for the CarQuest one, and here's the part number for this Fram as well. Now, I would recommend sticking to a good quality aftermarket if you are going to use aftermarket filters like this. You can go to the manufacturer and get the OEM filters for this car. However, it's going to be considerably more expensive to do that. But if you, like I said, if you can stay out, go aftermarket, just make sure you're running a good quality filter. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, we'll start off with the engine air filter first. Again, very easy, no tools required. There are 3 metal spring clips that hold this in place. One here. They will stay in place when you pop them out of the top of the filter cover. 2, 3. Now that unlocks the filter housing. You'll push this up. Now if you need to, you can bring it forward, and that will take it out of the 2 tabs on the back. You can just lift up the filter and very carefully pull it straight out. And you go ahead, you want to inspect it, just kind of take a look at it to see what it looks like inside. But this is obviously used up its viable life. It's pretty dirty at this point. So I'll toss that to the side. One thing that a lot of people forget to do when changing engine air filters is open this up and look in here. You want to make sure that there's no excessive amounts of debris or anything sort of built up in there, because it's not uncommon for small rodents or smaller animals to make houses in there, especially if the car sits outside and maybe you don't use it every day. That is very common for that to happen, and these can get packed with various things that animals will use to make nests. So once you've made sure that that's clean and there's nothing built up in there and you vacuumed it out and gotten it ready to go ahead and just change the filter. So we got the old one out, and then here is the new one. It will sit oriented like this. This black tab at the bottom goes to the driver's side front. So it's the reverse procedure for doing this. So we're going to make sure that we have enough room. Do not force these in. You want to be very careful because you can tear these if you force them in. They don't take any effort to put them in. They just drop into place. So you might have to wiggle it a little bit, and it will sit flat just like that. Now there's 2 little teeth on the back. Those have to go in first. It will grab the bottom part of the housing, and when you push it down, everything should line up like that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put all 3 of those spring clips back in. 1, 2, and 3. And that's all that's involved. So everything should sit nice and flat like that. It shouldn't take any effort to push the housing closed, and the spring clips will hold everything together. So as you can see, very simple, easy change that anybody can do. So let's go ahead and we'll go in the car and change the cabin air filter. All right, inside the car now to do the cabin air filter. If you have anything inside the glove box, take it out, because when you unhinge it, it's going to fall out anyway. There's 3 things that need to be unlocked so you can access the housing. First thing is this little soft open strut needs to be taken out of the way. So just take your thumb and push it down, and it will come out of place. It basically has just a little hook on here that grabs the glove box, so it gives it a nice soft open feature. So you can take that out of the way, and then each side has a retaining tab down here. So what we're going to do is push each side in towards the inside of the box, and you'll typically hear it click like that. And same thing on this side. And when you do that, the box will fall down and open up to access the housing. So that right there is the housing for the cabin air filter. So it's got a tab on each side, tab on the left, and a tab on the right. Go ahead and pull that off. That gives you access to the filter element itself. Just go ahead and pull it straight out. And you take a look at it if you want. Obviously, this one's very dirty. It's been in there for quite a while now. Just like with the engine air filter, look in there, make sure there's nothing abnormally stuck in there, debris. After a while, they can get pretty dirty. So if it's dirty, you might just want to vacuum it out, but this one looks very, very clean. So we'll grab the new filter, and typically they have a flow direction on them. This one has the flow direction. It points down, which is how these were typically going to, they're going to blow down. They usually draw from the top of the vehicle and go downward. So we know that this has to go down. So if you put it in wrong, it'll just stick out. So typically people put them in like this, and it sticks out too far. So you just have to just flip it around. If it sticks out too far and you orient the wrong way, and it will sit much more flush with the housing itself. So go ahead and grab that door. You can just push it straight on. Usually you hear it click. You can also push the tabs back out manually just to make sure it locks. Give it a gentle tug so it's not going to come back off. Okay, so it feels good. It's all locked in place. To put the glove box back, all you have to do is just push it. These two tabs on the side will grab automatically. So now it's retained by those tabs. And once again, the last thing we need to do now is put that little strut back. So we're going to have that nice soft open feature. So go ahead and grab that strut, pull it down, let the hook grab into place and snap into place. You'll push it back up towards yourself. We can go ahead and cycle the glove box, and now it has that nice soft open feature. So in a matter of a few minutes, we changed the engine air filter and the cabin air filter with no tools, and it was very easy to do, as you can see. So anybody can do this. You don't have to pay a mechanic to do this. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.